introduction.
All right, guys. I'm excited you guys could come. Things have been a little crazy lately, but I'm happy to be here, have Wi-Fi, heat. That's pretty much all this girl needs is Wi-Fi, heat, oh, and food. Basically, I feel like Wi-Fi at this point should be an unconditioned reinforcer. So primary to all of us. Anyway, so I wanted to do this video about how to get started studying for the BCBA exam. I realize a lot that sometimes we're so into the study process and posting about these different behavioral principles that I may sometimes forget to, or not forget, but to, get everyone in and being like, okay, whoa, what the hell is she talking about? Liat talks a lot, blah, 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 blah. What is this whole thing she's posting? So I wanted to do this because I remember that I wish someone would have done this for me when I was studying. And I know, and by the way, if you guys didn't know, I'm Liat. You see Jordan over there? Jordan.
Hi.
You want to tell them about you?
Sure. My name is Jordan. I am a BCBA and a licensed behavior analyst in the state of New York, and I am running our CEUs division. So after you have tons of fun with Liat and Casey learning how to study for the exam and then passing, you get to hang out with me and take really cool CEUs created by myself, but also an incredible team of individuals that are spanning the different applications of the science, as well as specific like content areas, I guess we could say that as.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd say that. Perfect. So you guys are lucky. You guys are still at the beginning part of only just meeting us now, but you'll be with us for a while. Shelley, you want to be with us if you don't think we're too annoying. So getting started for the exam, here we go. Question 1. When should I start studying? I get this question all the time. And I also took a lot of questions that you guys have asked me either on the Instagram or through Ask Casey on the email. And the answer to when you should start studying is now. No, I'm kidding. You guys should be in your last class of grad school, or some of you guys might already be completed grad school already and taking a break and not knowing where to start. I would say you should be at the end of your grad school. Why? Because a lot of people, I know there's pressure and people see things online, people posting like, I passed, I didn't pass. And it makes you feel like you should be studying immediately from the second you get into grad school because you hear about this dreaded test. Grad school's enough. You just got to keep afloat in grad school. All right. And I think a lot of people have this intimidation factor of like, oh, their grad school program must be so good. They're already preparing for the test on day 1. I want you to know I get this message all the time that should I be started? I started grad school last week. I haven't even started my hours. Should I start studying? Your level of studying is going to be completely different of your level of getting through grad school classes. In grad school, you just got to stay afloat. You're probably working a job, trying to get through grad school. Do that. That's more than enough. And realize when it comes time to study, that will be your full-time job, along with whatever job you have. But while you're in grad school, give yourself some grace. So anyone freaking out, we got you. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Next question. What can I be doing while I'm still in grad school? So a lot of people ask me this because I know that feeling of being like, okay, but I need to feel like I'm doing something. I know you say like, wait, but it's actually causing me more anxiety to not be doing anything. So what can you do? You can, hopefully, if you are in any ABA program in grad school, you have your Cooper book. Ta-da! You have your Cooper book. All right. This Cooper book, I know I've also been to grad school, undergrad, whatever it is, and they tell you, you need to buy this book for this class, but it's kind of a recommendation. this book is not a recommendation. You have to have this book. All right. Without your Cooper book, you can't take the test. It's all based on that. This is basically like taking a test on your Bible and not having a Bible to study. This is literally what the entire test is based on. This is all of applied behavior analysis that you need to know for the test. All right. So you need to have your Cooper book. Literally, I say while you are, and if you think you're like, oh yeah, casually, I'm just going to go ahead and like read it. It is hard to read just casually, sit there. So I say, do something that you start pairing with your book. Tab the side of your book, right? This is a great antecedent intervention too. Or Jordan could get her tab. She'll show you hers. They're like really sexy.
I have terrible handwriting, so I used a label maker and spent way too much time and precious label tape on doing it.
No, but yours looks really good.
I know. I'm also super like type A and like structured. So I wouldn't be able to look at it. With the new book, I didn't do that for my original one when I was studying, but
Does it stretch it out?
Yeah, a lot.
Like the color, there's no theme?
No, just the crookedness of them.
What? Okay.
Maybe it's just my angle.
I'm just kidding. No, so at least you feel like you're doing something. I'm that kind of person, like literally, even though that doesn't require you to read it, you're just tabbing it. And we have a whole video on our YouTube channel here telling you how to tab your Cooper book. We take it V seriously. So that's your book. Practice, like if you have a topic that you're looking up in class that you're learning about, open up to that page, read about that section. I like to set goals that are realistic. Well, I actually, on a personal level, like to set goals that are not realistic and I never meet them. But what you should actually do, and you'll learn that about me, do as I say, don't do as I do. Start, like if you had a question about positive reinforcement or something, and that was the question that you talked about in class, read that paragraph in your book, right? And as you read it, maybe like highlight it, mark it up, take a few notes on it. That's you starting to study. But do not make goals like I'm going to just read 3 chapters a day, because you're not going to do it unless you're superhuman.
And the only other thing I would add about the book, a lot of times we'll see on like Facebook, or people will message us on Instagram and they'll ask us, oh, should I rent the book or whatnot? I think that this is an investment in yourself and in your future as in this field, and that this book is truly critical. So I would say, especially for this book, there's like 1 or 2 other books I would say this too. This book is going to live with you forever. I always joke about this. I have this thing in the trunk of my car that, latches to the sides, and I literally fill it up with my books anytime I go anywhere. Like even if it's just like a weekend and I'm going to visit my parents, pre-COVID stuff, and I would just bring the book with me. I just carry it around. It's like a safety blanket, but still, I passed the exam almost 5 years ago. Yeah, just about 5 years ago, and I still have my Cooper book because of the fact that I still reference it. And I am constantly finding myself thinking like, oh, I remember this example from Cooper, or I'll see, or Leah, Casey and I will be talking about something and we'll go back to the book, and there's absolutely no shame in it. The book is super, super long and super in depth. So there are just going to be, protocols, procedures, even definitions that but you might always want a refresher. So this is definitely something to invest in. I know that the cost is sometimes really high, especially for the book, but you're going to use this so much that I highly, highly recommend. The mentality isn't, oh, I'll just have it, I'll rent it and I'll return it. Like this is something that you'll want forever.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, this is not like a rental. This is like think of your cell phone. Like you're going to rent one. No, like you need that shit at all times. Okay. So this is a book. Consider it like a cost. You're not going to return it. You need to write in it. You need to keep it forever. So there you go. So that you could do while you're in grad school. Obviously, if you have readings for class, do them, familiarize yourself with it. Okay. Next up. What materials do I need to study? You need your Cooper book. Shall I say it again? You need your Cooper book. You need your ethics book. Okay. I know we are going through a change that is going to be rolled out with the new ethics code, but as of right now, this is the most recent one they have. But I am sure Birch and Bailey, who wrote this book, are actively working to get a new ethics book out with the new ethics code. They change it every few years. Like when I was studying, it was the 2nd edition. It's now the 3rd edition. Now I'm sure they're working on the 4th edition because of all the new changes. And if you are in a program that is, that you will, after that ends, or that ends like even right before January 2022, I'm sure they are teaching you based on the 5th edition task list, because in January 2022, they will start using the 5th edition task list, which is the task list. What is it? That is basically, you could go to the BACB website, and I'm sure Jordan could put it in the chat.
Yep.
But the task list is basically one big checklist of every single item you need to know for the test or section that you need to study. Right now, as this video is being recorded, and it is February 18th, 2021, we are still on the 4th edition task list, but we have been made aware by the BACB that the 5th edition task list, which we already have access to, will roll out and go into action of being, that's what you will be tested on starting January 2022. So if you're in grad school right now, they're probably teaching you for the 5th edition, assuming that you are going to test anytime after January 2022. If you're someone testing in between, we'll talk about that on another slide. Here we go. So make sure you have your ethics in your Cooper book. What other materials do you need? It doesn't have to suck. It's not only these books. Like, you need pens you love, all right? We are passionate about the pen here at Study Notes ABA. So you need to make sure you have your sets of pens. This is only one, and this is my least organized, so I can't say I'm so proud of it. But you need to have your pens, your markers, your highlighters, anything that makes, Jordan, you like to see that color pattern?
Yeah, that it makes me feel better. Last night, Liat sent me a picture.
I smile, I know.
I know. Well, because they were color coded. You sent me a picture. Like,
yeah, Jordan was like pissed off. I thought this was like so cute looking, and she was like pissed off. She's like, why is there yellow with orange? I'm like, there's literally only 6 sections.
I would have made rows with the same colors, and I would have had the same pattern with the same type of pen caps.
I know, the stressed her out. But guys, these things, you actually have an excuse to buy yourself pens that you like, and highlighters and notebooks that are more expensive than you typically would buy, to make the study process fun. Get candles for your study area. Make it an area that you know, this is where I study, and it has stimulus control, and I enjoy this area. All right. So like, don't put your cat litter under your desk. You're not going to want to sit there. Basic behavior, guys. Interventions. Okay. So this is what you need: highlighters, pens, blah, blah, blah. We make videos on all this on our YouTube too, because I'm very passionate about pens. Next question is a question that I think a lot of you guys, if you feel like this question resonates with your soul, I want you to put your favorite food into the chat. That's like being like, yeah, I connect, I feel that. The question is this: am I completely screwed because my supervision and or grad school program sucked ass? Everyone's putting their food: ice cream, French fries, sushi. I see it all coming in. Pizza, donuts. Okay.
Fried chicken.
Amazing.
Pasta, tacos, pho.
Yeah. All right. So that just shows you are not alone. The crazy thing is that with this question, everyone feels like they are alone. Like, fuck, it was just me who had the shitty supervision. It was just me who had like the crappiest grad school program. I learned nothing. I want you to calm down, because everyone feels the same way. There are very few people that I have met who are like, my program was amazing. And if you went to one of those programs, let me know. You can put it in the chat. I'd love to reinforce this program's behavior of whatever they're doing. So I could share with others if anyone watches this video of where to go to grad school. So yeah, I think our field has a lot of work to do in grad school programs, as well as grad school programs preparing you to be a BCBA, because there's a huge, what's the word? A huge change, a big, from going from being an RBT to, or a behavior technician to being a BCBA. And what you learn in grad school, some of your programs might be more research-based. Like I know where Casey went to school. She's in here somewhere. I don't know where.
She wrote in the chat. She's here somewhere.
She's here somewhere. I'm surprised she doesn't have FOMO and has not tried speaking up once. It's
I'm here.
There she is.
Like Casey, this quiet, wild.
Then you know shit's hitting the fan if I'm quiet now.
Yeah, you know wrong on the website. But
yeah, I think that a really important thing with grad school is if you don't feel like you're getting the best out of it, you need to advocate for yourself. Same with supervision. Because back when I was going through, I didn't realize what I needed for supervision. Now I do. So what I tell all of you in my shoes or any of our shoes, advocate for yourself, ask for better supervision, put the work into the grad program, and just, yeah, I don't know. You just have to really advocate for yourselves to get a really good experience.
And I want to piggyback off what Casey said, actually, because like, I think that's super important too, because like putting in the work, sometimes I feel like, it's easy to just think of things of like, oh, I have to do this assignment. But like, these are actually the assignments in grad school that are going to provide some sort of foundational skills for you to start building your skills as a behavior analyst. And I think the biggest thing with that is making sure that you take the time. I remember we had a course that literally taught us how to read research papers. And I remember being like, this is so boring, but now I'm really good at reading research articles. And that's why I'm creating CEUs, because of the fact that, I mean, that's not why I'm creating CEUs, but it's why I enjoy creating CEUs is because I've taught myself, or my grad school program taught me how to really break apart articles and take out the key information that I need, which was a skill I thought I had, but I did not. But then spending an entire semester reading research that wasn't as reinforcing as it is to make a CEU on a topic you love, that was really important for me. And I didn't know it then, but now I'm very grateful for that.
Totally. So I want you guys to know, if you're worried about your school not being the best, whatever it is, first of all, do advocate for yourself. I see someone posted in the chat here that their supervisor has asked them to tell her when she sucks, because it's good practice for advocating for yourself during hard times as BCBA. And I think that's really cool. And you should reinforce your supervisor's behavior and say, I really appreciate you doing that. And she'll even screw up sometimes on purpose. I like how she sets up that MO for you to do it. That's great. But yeah, so going through grad school, also, I just want you to know it will be a little bit different than actually studying for the test. So you might be like, Leah's teaching me all this, blah, 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 on these videos, but you need to get through it. Realize you are learning along the way, and do not freak out, because I promise you, at least like in regards to us, when it comes time for you to study, we've got your back, whether your program sucked ass or not. All right. We really work hard to fill the gaps, whether it's within our studying program or within our CEUs once you become a BCBA, or within giving you the podcast to listen to, whatever it is. So we've got you. So just take a deep breath there. And let me tell you that our program is created for, even if you did not study ABA, we start at such foundations that you could still learn everything you need to know for the test. Obviously, it will help if you've studied that as your master's, but we've got you regardless. All right. Let's say you're online and you see a lot of people posting about, like, I did this program to study, I did that program to study, blah, 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 blah. Which one should I do? Obviously, you should do the collective, our program. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's great. But do you have to do a program, or is it not possible to pass studying by yourself? Sure, you could study by yourself, right? Not everyone wants to do a test prep program. People could study themselves. They could read their own Cooper book and set up their own contingencies and study plan. Fine. Is it possible? Sure. Yes, it's possible. Are you someone who would like accountability and a program to show up for? Then I would say choose a program. When you're choosing a program, a study prep program, okay, whether it's Study Notes ABA or another program. I feel like I've said the word program like 37 times in the last sentence. Look at what's going to best fit your needs, okay? So look at when do they meet? What is their teaching style, right? I'm sure they have some kind of content you could get for free. Like if it's ours, I know you could watch some like sneak previews on our YouTube. Maybe you'll check out different companies' Instagrams or their, I don't know, any of their promotional videos, what they do, how they teach it, what their method is, what supplies they, or like what handout or curriculum they use for you to study. So if you're someone and something really fits with you, sign up for it. If you're someone who needs that accountability, or if you're someone who's super organized, which I know a lot of BCBAs are, or people in the field of ABA, are a lot of people here are very good at self-management. I'm not the best at that. Maybe you could make your own program. So is it required that you sign up for a program? No. Is there skill to taking this test beyond just knowledge? Yes. So in that regard, a program may help you, but is it possible to pass without it? Yes. Is it possible to pass without reading your Cooper book? No. Whenever someone says that, I have a lot of philosophical doubt. They're like, I didn't even read. I don't know what they're talking about. Because this test, even like some of the best behavior analysts may not pass because of the way the test is structured. Not saying you're not going to, and it's very possible to pass. We see people pass all the time, but I just want you guys to know that there also is strategy in taking the test and breaking down questions. All right, you post a ton of passing testimonials and about the so-called collective you talk about. What's all this buzz you talk about, Liat? I realize that I say the word collective a million times a day. And then I get some questions from people like, what is this collective, or what's a collective? And I realize that I've failed letting you guys know over and over. To me, it's just like such a part of my life now that I talk about it as like cash, you know? But the collective is our program that we have created. It is 10 weeks long, 20 classes that will change. We will have, I believe, 23 or 24 classes starting when we start the 5th edition task list, because there's more information. We go through every single thing you need to know on your task list, which is that checklist of everything you need to know for the test. And we break it down for you and teach you and take notes with you. So the task list is written in whatever order it's written in. We do not go in order. We go in order of building content off each other and telling you what to study when, so that it builds on each other, because it's to your benefit to learn with things building on each other so that you are building your foundation as you go, right? So we break it down for you in a real, raw, and relatable way. At Study Notes ABA, I'm talking. I can't speak for any other program. I guess I should give you guys a forewarning that we're pretty raunchy, we're inappropriate. You could expect a lot of F-bombs, sex, buttholes, anything along those lines, because my thing is the more novel, the more you're going to remember it. All right. So if you are looking for something different, unique, and maybe you are an ADHD brain like myself, have a hard time focusing on material this dense, and you need it broken down in a real life way, about like stalker ex-boyfriends and things along those lines, this would be great for you. If you do not like bad language or inappropriate examples, I do not recommend taking the collective. Okay, seriously, run the other way. So if you are into and you're down to put headphones in if you have kids around, take our collective. If not, maybe it's not the best idea for you. You could use our other resources, our mock exams, our tutoring, whatever it is. It's definitely a different way of studying. You could look on our YouTube also to see some of those videos. So that's what we talk about. That's our 10-week program. It's made up of 20 classes. Each class is about 2.5 hours long, going over everything you need to know on the task list. All right.
And I just want to add something really quickly. So Liat and I joke that, you know, I was the first informal like collective member, but I really was. So it's been super exciting. When I was studying, it was just me and Liat's whiteboard in her apartment in Austin, Texas. And she would have me teach concepts and principles and just make it more fun than it was. And that was, you know, was that in 2015? That was like, you know, 2015, 2016. That was, and it's just crazy on the outside seeing that even the continuation of it has been really exciting. And the fact of not feeling alone in this process and meeting, you know, other people that are studying at the same time as you is so encouraging. You know, I was super fortunate. I had Liat, I had a few friends from my grad school program, and I had them to kind of hold me accountable. And the collective is especially good if you feel like, I would do it, I'll do it, but I would rather have it where it's, you know, a kind of communal group thing where I'm learning with a lot of people. Maybe it isn't one-on-one, but it's just as fun and important. And I feel held accountable to my studying. And I think that it adds also, you know, some sort of routine to it, which is half the battle of even studying, is just getting in a routine of the habit of it. And I've never, you know, I've never taken the collective, but I informally did. And I've been, you know, I've sat on the sidelines for a bit, and it is just a really fun and good way to learn. And that's just my 2 cents.
I should have added that. Yeah, like this will be your community of people. Okay. This field could be super isolating. We're still so young, this field. People, you still have to explain to everyone what a BCBA is, what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. This is really sharing a love for the coolest science ever. Like it is, behavior analysis is a way of looking at life, and you will start to see things like this. This will be your people that you talk to even after you pass. All right. Like about different cases, like shit, I don't know what to do with this one kid who's been breaking glass. I don't know what to do about this person who's been banging their head so hard that they have 2 black eyes. Right? These are going to be your people, especially in a field where you need to not feel isolated because burnout's real, right? So you need other people. That being said, I think I said it, but I'm not sure, but I think it's pretty imperative to study notes is that we take all the notes with you every class. So we're not showing you slides. What you're seeing now is not who we are, just for this, because I didn't feel like writing out every question. But we draw visuals with you, notes, and the idea is also generalizing that you guys learn to take out important keywords. We speak in hashtags. We're millennial AF. You will learn hashtags for everything, because for this test, you need to understand, oh, there's other words for positive reinforcement, such as hashtag type 1 reinforcement, hashtag praise. So we speak in a lot of hashtag. We're annoying millennials, but you do not need to be a millennial to take it. All right. We have all different people in there, guys, girls, different ages, anyone. All right. So it's a place to show up. I think I kind of answered this already. What do we offer? We have, you know, we have the collective, we have video bundles. If you are not able to show up, it is offered at 7 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday evening, Central Standard. If you can't show up for that, we have them recorded. It's the exact same class. It's just that you watch it on your own time. That might be a benefit for you, or that might be something that's not good for you because you can't make yourself actually watch the videos. I think I'm kind of funny, so hopefully they're entertaining for you. This is my chance, guys, to be Chelsea Handler. I always wanted to be. And you guys get to be the audience. Wow. So if the times don't work for you, we have video bundles. We also have single drop-ins. We have mock exams. We have tutoring. We have a lot of specialty classes, question dissection, single things you could get. We have fun merch. We have all the pens, blah, 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 blah. You can check the site. All right. Here we
And
go.
I think too, just piggybacking off of this, in addition to like everything, is that we're utilizing social media to connect people. So every collective also has its own private Facebook group. So in real time, you don't have to write in a Facebook group where there's like 7,000 people, 70,000 people, like 20,000 people, and hope that somebody's going to see your post. It's going to be a group of just the people that are taking the collective with you. And then you can build that community. So when we're saying this is what we have to offer, yeah, we have social media, but how we're using social media is really specifically we have a bunch of different Facebook groups, and all of them have a specific intention, and you can join them at any time. And we love having you there. And we know the importance of, just being able to be within reach to communicate with other BCBAs.
Yeah.
Or even just people in the field, not even just BCBAs.
Yeah. That's really what we wanted to create, a place of, we use this word a lot, BCBA holes. We don't want BCBA holes. We want people we want to be accessible. Like, that's exactly what it is. I think up until now, a lot of these like big wigs in the field, people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm fangirling over this person. The idea is that we want it to be a place where you could connect with someone at a different level, right? We all have so much to learn from one another. And that's the idea of Study Notes ABA as a whole, whether it's any part of our program, whether it's when you're an RBT, a BCBA, listening to our podcast, taking our CEUs. We want you to be real humans. We remember exactly shitting our pants too, taking the test. So we don't walk with our noses in the air. We continue to be normal as fuck. And here we are. Okay. So one thing I do want to add, because I see people asking about it, and I would like to normalize it more, is the idea of people who are retakers, which we call multiple opportunity testers. We are working on creating a program just for that right now. But the idea is you are someone who needs to take the test more than once. Is that terrible? No. Okay. That just wasn't your time. I should add that we also will motivate the fuck out of you. All right. We, along the way, it's not just the prep. Part of it is also pushing your ass to what you need. We're your personal trainers. If you are someone who is given the opportunity to take the test more than once, first of all, you're going to become you will have better knowledge as a result of it. You are going to come into contact with learning more. And just because you did not pass on your first time does not mean that you are any less of a practitioner. All right. I've seen people who pass their first time who are really fucking shitty BCBAs. Okay. This does not explain who you are. This does not explain who you are as a practitioner. Needing to take the test again is fine. You might have not been studying the correct way to bring it to life for yourself. Something that I get off to, Jordan gets off to pens and verbal behavior. I get off to seeing something click within someone's head who's like, oh my God, I've been studying this for so long and now I get it. I thought I got it, but I didn't. So just realize, do not give up if you have to take the test more than once. I know it sucks. You could cry for a few days, maybe 2, but then get the fuck back up because we got you and you're going to pass the test. All right. I promise you, you've never studied this way before. I could guarantee you that. And I say that very confidently. All right. When will the task list officially change for the 5th edition? The answer is January 2022. All right. So January 2022, they will start offering the test, which utilizes the 5th edition. Whoa, the heat, now that it works, my throat is so dry. Hold on. The 5th edition task list is now, you need to know all the things on this list. And that will start January 2022. if you take the test any date after that. Also, you will be required to know the information from the 3rd edition Cooper book, which is this one, which you could recognize it. First of all, it says 3rd edition and it has like sharper lines as opposed to the 2nd edition.
It's also like double the size.
Yeah, it's also like very
Thick.
Yeah.
And the pages are thinner though. Sad.
The pages are thinner and they didn't do a great job binding, but I'm not trying to judge. Where was I going with that? Okay, so that's when it will change. So if you are testing on the 5th edition, if you're testing anytime after January 2022. A question we get a lot, when will we start teaching people for the 5th edition? Starting this summer 2021, we will be offering our regular 20 classes of everything on the 4th edition. Plus we will have recorded classes available in your course that cover the new material that will be on the 5th edition. So like any items that were not covered in our previous 4th edition task list will be covered starting in our summer collectives. We will start teaching for the 5th edition. We've already started making all our materials for the 5th edition, like our Talk-A Mock that's coming out, which is a audio mock exam that is based on the 5th edition task list, as well as the change of the test that is right now on the 4th edition. It is 160 questions on the test, and it will begin being 175 questions on the test. So we are setting things up to match what the 5th edition will be. All right, let's say you're sitting here and you're like, I want to know more about getting started and not hating every second of the process. Any resources? Yes, we did a 2-part podcast on studying, not having to suck, and getting started. That is on, if you go to behaviorbitches.com, it will take you to anywhere that you play a podcast, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcast. And it really gives you strategies of how to get started studying for the test. That's us. And if you don't listen to Behavior Bitches, like, where have you been? That's me.
Where have you been?
Where have you been? That's us. I'm Behavior Bitch 1. Casey's hiding. She's Behavior Bitch 2. Yes, do not mess it up that I'm Behavior Bitch 2. I'm Behavior Bitch 1. I remind her of this regularly. And if you want any other resources, again, our YouTube channel is packed with videos, whether it's about like getting started with supervision, indirect versus direct, unrestricted versus restricted hours. Follow us on Instagram. I think I'm kind of funny there. And on Facebook in the Study Notes ABA group. Answer the questions, we'll let you in. Any questions you guys have, do not hesitate to reach out either on our Instagram at StudyNotesABA or to our email, contact@studynotesaba.com. It's really us working behind there. We'll answer any questions you have about any of the resources we have, anything that you could gain access to, questions, whether it's about the app. We'll put you in the right direction wherever you need to go. We have some organization, believe it or not. All right, now I want to pause the recording and answer any questions you guys may have.
You want me to pause it or stop it?
I think stop it.